Well, hello there, everyone. Enrique here. Pleasure to be with you as always. So, today, the social and emotional challenges connected to learning. So, there's academic learning, right? Academic learning goes really well when we're grounded and when we're ready to go both socially and emotionally, when we know how to interpret emotional responses inside us and from those around us. So, one of the most important things is that I like to focus on that has helped me a lot with both my kids and the thousands of children and parents I've worked with over the years is being aware of the multiple ways in which we like to receive care, the many ways in which we like to interpret and know that we're loved. So, knowing you're loved is different than feeling loved. So, let me restate it. What's really important is to help everyone, including ourselves and our children, understand not only that they're loved, but making sure they feel loved. It's two different things. It's as if I were to say to you, I love you, versus I love you. The words are there, but it's not the same. But more to the point, there are different ways and specific languages of love. And there have been many books written on these. The one I'm quoting from today is by let's see, The Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And so there's physical touch, the huggers, the high fivers, the shoulder, pat the backers, all those guys and gals and people. And there's quality time, right? So quality time, that's one of my favorites. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you're hanging out. So some children, they'll just be following you around the house or the classroom or the virtual classroom, and they're always around you. That's QT, that's quality time. Whereas when you feel a thud from your 5-year-old on your leg, that's physical touch. Those are both pretty obvious. Physical touch is very obvious. Quality time, unless you're aware of it, might not be as obvious. Then there's words of affirmation, my daughter's favorite. And words of affirmation, there's written and there's verbal, right? And there's different kinds of written. There's old school letter writing, there's texting. So with my daughter, I now know that she is a big fan of the written word. So when I text her, she really feels it. Very different than if I hug her. In fact, I let her hug me because that's not her love language. So I wait for it, right? I wait for it because I don't want to impose my love language on her or anyone else, which is what I was doing as a younger dad many, many years ago. When you hug someone, they're squirming around. That's not cool. That's not cool. That's you saying, hey, I'm going to hug you even though you don't want me to, right? I'm going to touch your body without you wanting me to, or it's tickling me. Stop, So we might think it's cute if we're the one who's the physical touch person, which I am both physical touch and quality time. It used to be physical touch, quality time. Now it's quality time, physical touch, right? So words of affirmation, both written, like my daughter, and spoken. So some people react more profoundly to hearing the words, hey, great job, versus just a hug or just a hug. For physical touch people, there's no such thing as just a hug. They're all great. It's like pizza, right? Even bad pizza, not bad. Not totally true either in that one. And quality time, right? So my daughter doesn't need that much quality time. She needs some, but not nearly as much as I do or my son does. So all this ends up being really powerful in our relationships. So if you're a teacher, this is going to help you with your relationships with the young people, especially when we're doing Zoom and stuff, right? Or Google Hangout, whatever it is. How do you do physical touch? Well, we can't. But we can approximate it. We can get closer to the screen, and as opposed to always just words. We're going to get the words of affirmation, people will be just fine, all right? The quality time, okay. Physical touch, that's a bigger challenge, all right? So maybe with young children, I might have a teddy bear, and I'll say, hey, where's your teddy bear? Or some stuffed animal. Let's give our teddy bears a hug. That might be a good way to approximate the fact that physical touch is sometimes not possible. Acts of service, that's my wife's favorite. Doing something for someone without being asked to do it, okay? That's the caveat. So I'm the cook in the house. So I'm good to go. I'm cooking all the time, and my wife hates cooking. So we've got that arrangement down. It's good. It works great. So acts of service and then gifts. Yes, gifting is a love language. And I didn't used to think it was. And then I thought of my dad. My dad is a gifter. It's not the gift. Well, sometimes it is. Usually it's not. It's usually the thought they put in to what they think that the person would enjoy and waiting for that moment of, oh, for me, oh, thank you. So those 5 languages of love come from Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages. Know these. Use these when you're communicating with others, especially in the days we live in today. Find a way to make sure that all your students, your colleagues, your friends, your family members know that all 5 ways are valid. All 5 ways of showing your love is valid. And then the $1 million question I want you to ask, right, that I want you to ask to people that you know really well, that you know care for you, and you care for them, I want you to ask them, how do you know I love you? How do you know? Not how do you know if I love you, and don't put the word if in there, that's trouble. How do you know I love you? Now, if they're a 4, 5, 7, 8-year-old, they're gonna just answer like my son when I said, how do you know Daddy loves you? And my son said, well, because you hug me and we do stuff together. Physical touch, quality time. You hug me and we do stuff together. I thought my daughter would answer the same. My son was about 6 at the time, and my daughter was about 9. So I asked my 9-year-old, hey, how do you know Daddy loves you? And she said, well, because you tell me. And I was waiting for, and because I hug you? And because I hang out with you? Nope, cricket, cricket. Because you tell me. Words. The answer to the question is the clue. So, what are you going to do with this question? You're going to ask it? If you ask someone older, it's a strange question. So if you just ask someone you know that you care for out of the blue, hey, how do you know I love you? They might say, are you okay? What's wrong? So preface the question, hey, I was watching this video, I heard about this cool thing called the love languages, blah, blah, and then ask it, all right? And remember, don't ask, how do you know if I love you? I had a participant in one of my workshops do that, and he got into some trouble. I helped him out, and he's okay now. Anyway, the 5 love languages, know them, and they will make all the academic learning even more possible, even better, because the connection will be set. The connection will be strong. Peace. Bye-bye.